Yeah, many thanks for staying with us. It is the interview segment, yes, of New Dawn. And this morning, we'll be talking about something quite critical. It has to do with agriculture. It is the Ogun food security template. Of course, food is no longer just what we eat. It is about survival, affordability, and security. And it has moved from a policy slogan to a daily concern for millions of Nigeria. And you will agree with me that the role of government, the role of stakeholders has never been more critical. So to drive this home this morning is, the chairman, Ajigunle Farm Settlement, Abeokuta, Mr. Johnson Shogunle. You welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, thanks so much for coming. Also on the show, Doyin Sola, we'll be doing this together with Doyin Sola Ogunbadiwa. Good morning.
Good morning, Moses. How are you doing? Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, talking about food security plan templates in Ogun State. Really, I would have preferred if the commissioner is there, but I'm sure you will be able to tell us some things. Now, when we talk about that, there should be a brief overview of food security situation in Ogun State. Can you just lead us into that?
Okay, let's do an overview.
Okay.
Now, farm settlements in Ogun State were established in the days of Western region, in the days of our Papa Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And those farm settlements were scattered all over the Western region. The creation of Ogun State, at the creation we had 8 of those farm settlements in Ogun State. When the states were, Western region was dismantled, and we now have Ogun State. So we have 8 of those farm settlements. Now, subsequent government seems to try their parts, but notably, I think OGT government started with giving the farm settlements some little succor, brought in some tractors. But those tractors had no parts because they were from probably the eastern part of the world. So those tractors could not stand the test of time. Only one farm settlement that were not using their own for proper, they were only using for transportation, were able to manage it. But ever since then, subsequent government seems to be establishing another farm, small farm settlement, but not up to that standard. But I want to tell you that when we had this government, we wrote a series of letters, we made a lot of contacts, and we started seeing changes. And I want to give that to His Excellency, the Governor, Akpo Abiodun, CON. He actually brought a total turnaround into the farm settlements. I passionately came to OGTV to invite your crew to come and see the massive work that is going on in our farm settlements.
Okay, now talking about the history brief history that you just gave us, what was the plan, the objectives, the goals of the then government and the now government?
Yeah, you brought in food security is a new norm. It's a new norm. And what brought about food security? Scarcity and affordability. And so the main objective was to use the farm settlement to checkmate price increases because they are relatively the government farmers. We farm for the government ensure that it's like a private arrangement. The farm settlements were given to settlers and they produce food, and government is sure they are producing. They give them input, they give them some things to make sure that it functions. And so government uses them to stabilize prices. So when there is high rates or too much, there is scarcity, there are warehouses in those settlements, and government will go there and push out whatever is being produced. But over years, the perspective seems to say that food production or farming is commercial, and that brought us to where we were. So all over the world, agriculture is subsidized.
So now,
That's the truth. And so when the notion in government is that agriculture is a business venture, nobody, I tell you from experience, that everybody that planted maize last year lost money. Despite losing money, as of we are talking, those that planted and harvested this year, they are equally losing money.
why?
So many factors. For example, the federal government opened border for importation. And so the factories brought in more than 2,000 of the capacity needed within that range. And as we are talking, maize that sold sometimes at the peak for 900, 750 is at 300,000 today.
Wow.
All input you put, there is no way you will make a margin.
So are you saying we are importing, cassava?
The same thing. Now don't forget that cassava have byproducts. It is not the one we eat. What we are eating is about 20% of production. The factories uses all these things better. If I do the same comparison, a ton of cassava last year got to about 120. As we are talking today, it's 30, 40,000. So there is no way today, despite all efforts, that you make such money and say you are a farmer, you are make profit. But for us at the farm settlement, we have nowhere going. So commercial people will bring large money. When they lose, they run away. But for farm settlers, they are consistent.
But how do we then balance this? Because I could recall that when the borders were shut, it was as if we were not producing enough, particularly when it comes to rice production. I don't think we can produce, enough rice for the whole citizenry. And the prices skyrocketed when the borders were shut. So our government had no choice because it was leading to food insecurity than to open the borders. Now you said farmers are feeling the heat. So how then can we balance things? You shut the borders, then prices go up.
Let me tell you, those food that were being brought to Nigeria, they were subsidized. There is no way the same mechanism, even though they have improved mechanism in developed world, but they are heavily subsidized. And that is why
our own government should.
No, our consistency in subsidizing, that's what we are saying.
Okay.
And we will get there. You see, agric is wide, it's large. If you choose to, government can afford to subsidize one, it will boomerang on the other. So we have to have an holistic approach, and it begins with inputs. I'll give you an example. 2 years now, Ogun State government brought in Her Excellency, Mrs. Tinubu, to come and launch input distribution for farmers in Ogun State. And that year, go and look at the data from statistics. Ogun State had the lowest increase in price of food because with just subsidized input, fertilizer was sold to us at 50% rate, maize was sold at the same rate. So with all those, we were able to produce en masse. So what I'm saying in essence is, there must be an holistic approach to subsidy, and it must be consistent.
Okay, with the situation of things now, can you just tell us the current state of food security in Ogun State?
Yeah.
How far have we gone?
Yeah, if we are talking currently, as food security is big, it's huge, but we are inching towards that in Ogun State. And that is with what the government is putting on ground. Because what makes food security to be sustainable is the value additions which our government is doing presently. Now, I will take it one by one. In Ogun State currently, the Ogun State government is putting up massive value additional processing centers in various categories, all scattered within the state. My sis is very close to you. I'm less than a kilo to you. Come and see what the government is doing. Our government is providing us with 5,000 processing daily capacity of chicken processing. 5,000. It doesn't stop there. It goes along with 1 megahertz solar powered electricity. Our warehouse is being refurbished and is being provided with some processing plants like cassava peeling machine, maize sheller, all these things we used to scrabble around. The last time I planted maize, sheller I had to go and take as far as I will take to Odeda. Now the thing is now at Ajimule. So I tell you that the state is inching towards food security.
But we're not there yet.
Yeah, we are very close. We are very close because you see, the phases is infrastructure. When you want to add value addition, it's about infrastructure. And those things, I can tell you, free of charge, that in the whole of 22 locations scattered in Ogun State, as we are talking, every of those things are 95% completed. So that's why I'm saying it is huru for us.
If they are 95% completed, we should be there, not close.
Now, I'm talking, food production does not start with value addition. Okay. It starts with the production itself. So when it starts with production, it is when you harvest that the value addition takes place. So that's what I'm saying. So instead of farmer, for example, in Ajegule, Ogun State government did a program. It spans for about 3 years, and it's winding up now. And we call it Ogun State Economic Enhancement Project. That project covers education, it covers manpower training, it covers agriculture. And I can tell you that with that project, Ogun State government subsidized agriculture, arable crop production by 50%. But the way it was configured, it's not individual. You have to form yourselves into clusters, you have to do all those things. And with that, we were able to go ahead. Now in livestock, the same thing. For feed, you are giving 30% subsidy. For medication for poultry, you are giving 30%. So that brought down drastically cost of production. And the same thing with market price. So as of this time this year, about 3 months past, a kilo of live chicken from our farm is about 2,006.
Really?
Yes, a kilo.
Okay.
With that program, we produced on my farm alone 54,000 heads of birds.
Wow.
I'm sure they equally produced about 55,000 heads of birds. So, and it's scattered all over. It's not only with poultry, the same thing with fish production. And it's scattered. So what we are saying is, with all this, Ogun State is too close to food security. We are very, very close.
But you're talking about egg production, but that has not really reflected in the price of eggs in the market. I think a crate is still sold for 6,000 naira.
6,000.
So when will it? Because that's what.
Now, egg production. Don't forget, poultry is wide. Everything I've told you is about broiler production, which is the chicken we eat. The chicken that lays egg, those are pullets, and that subsidy does not cover that. As it is today, Ogun State still remains the highest egg producer in Nigeria. And those factors that are responsible for that high price has to do with feed production. Even despite giving all the industries, feed producing industries, subsidy through importation of maize, they have not, in the last 2 months, they started reducing the cost of feed by 3%, 2%. None of them had gone up to more than, none of them had gone beyond 10%. None of them. So we may look at it that what the importation has done is to allow for local consumption, not for industrial consumption. So relatively, the production of egg has not been subsidized. But one thing that project has done now is that now, if we have excess glut, the processing plant being put up at Ajegunle now have a chiller. Unlike what happened during coronavirus, that we had to be even throwing away crate of eggs. So now we now have a chiller that we can pack those eggs and be preserved. The same thing with our crops. Tomato, cucumber, we now have place where we can keep them.
Okay, talking about food availability, access and utilization, and even stability, how far can you say Ogun State are gone, the data and where we can still find ourselves in the future?
Now, you see, government procured 39 tractors.
39.
39 is there at Okemoso. By the special grace of God.
Be in the farms now.
No, the season has not come. We are nearing the season.
Okay.
We are nearing the season. If our governor, with all his magnanimity and what he does regularly with farmers, because the governor is a farmer-friendly governor, that is obvious. That is very obvious. If he releases those tractors to us by February latest, because it's not just tractor, it comes with all the implements, planter, sprayer, harrow.
The ones procured by the government?
Yes.
That's good.
You understand? If those things are given to us as early as possible, then food stability, sustainability, all those things are guaranteed.
So, well, let's talk about the smallholder farmers, or particularly the young ones, the ones who go into farming.
Yeah.
How has it been? I mean, access to lands, credits and markets. What intervention have we seen? And perhaps if I could take you back to the Anchor Borrowers program under the Buhari's government, why did that program fail? Because some would say, at times we ask, farmers ask government for grants, for loans, but they don't pay back. Just like the rice farmers that took loans during the Anchor Borrowers program, many of them have not paid. Many of them may not even pay back.
You want to hear the truth?
Tell us.
Now, you have political farmers, you have the real farmers. So that is why we are mixing it up. You cannot give farmers in all the clusters in Ogun State, which spans almost about 15 or 20. Those are the big clusters. You cannot give them loan and they run away. The smallholder farmers, those are the farmers who are there. We know ourselves. If you have been to Olaro, you know where they call Oko Fufu. Once you enter into Olaro, there is a big place where they do fufu. They know themselves. So if you give those people money, they will not run away. And those are the advantages the microfinance banks are taking and getting excessive interest from people. So the Anchor Borrower program failed with so many factors. If we remove the political incentives, it is when people hear that government is giving incentives that they now come.
That's when they come.
But get to all the farm clusters we have in Ogun State. Is it where you are talking? Is it Ago where you are talking? Is it Biade you are talking? You meet farmers always on ground. You meet them. So those are identified farmers. And Ogun State government has gone far because they now have our database. They call that project, I think it's OGTV. They have a database of farmers in Ogun State beyond even the clusters. So it is difficult for anybody that is not a regular farmer to benefit even from Ogun State, because Ogun State government had gone far by having their data, and they can always cross-check. And that played out when the federal government recently brought through the state government some telephones to enhance farming. And that ones we used to monitor the weather, to monitor prices all around. So it is from that database that government took selected farmers across the state.
Okay.
Okay, no, the second leg of the question will be access to land and credit and markets, I mean, for the smallholder farmers, for the young farmers.
Now,
how has it been?
As for the young farmers, we must tell ourselves the truth. I pick it from there. Now, you see, most of government program today gives 40% access to women, 20% to youth. Now, except someone who is more enduring and that have knowledge, at Ajegule I have youth farmers that does, as we are talking, they are doing tomato irrigation. They are doing vegetable irrigation. So those are committed and interested. You see, agriculture is about passion. It's not about money. So it is only few farmers, youth or young farmers that are passionate about farming, about agriculture that we go into it. And the truth again is, you see, you need capital. For you to begin to rear pullet, you need cage, you need all these things. But access is not a big deal in Ogun State.
Okay.
It's
so
not a big deal.
how can they go about it?
For the young farmers that are interested, we have the clusters. If they come to us, to our Ajegule farm settlement, we tell them how to do it. I'm not saying the lands are available. You understand? But recently, before, in those days of Shifawolowo, you have a house, you have an acre, you have 2 hectares. But now, they put you on a queue. Any farmer that is not performing, gone. So when you are on the queue, once there is vacancy, they put you there. So, and it's span all over. Ajegule is urban. You have Adodo. You have Ibiade. So you have to go to the one that is closest to you. And the people in rural area too can group themselves together to make a cluster. Those are the mistakes we are making. So people, the youth in an area, they come together. That is what OGTV has been able to do.
So what number makes a cluster?
No, it depends. Let's say you are minimum of 10. You are from a community. You have a village land. Set it up yourself. Inform people like us. We bring government attention to you, and they begin to deal with you. So that is more possible.
Okay. So for a young farmer that has no land, you know, how can such farmer go about it?
That's what I've said. There are 2 ways. When you get to the Department of Planning in Ministry of Agric, you apply for land, for agricultural land. Don't forget the lands are not in urban. Those are the mistakes we are making. Everybody wants to be in Abeokuta, everybody wants to be in Ijebu-Ode, whereas the lands are interland. Unless you want to do poultry, then unfortunately our commissioner, Honorable Wotomo, has designated those settlements into hubs. Ajegule, for example, we are designated as livestock hub. So if you want to do livestock, you know where to go. You want to do arable, go to Adodo. They have massive land. Go to Shawojo.
No, there's also a farm settlement close to us.
Oh, from
Ajibo Road.
Yes, that's my 6 Ajegule farm
exactly.
settlement. That's where I'm the chairman.
Okay.
So
our land's available there?
Now,
or everything is taken by farmers?
I've told you that is designated as livestock hub. Oh. If you want to do poultry, then you apply through the process. The land is filled up, but farmers that are inactive, that are not using their land, they will be terminated. So they put you on a queue. By the time they know that one is out, they call the next person. Are you still interested?
But that won't take years.
No, it depends. If everybody is performing. So where do we get the land? I told you the project started since 1950s.
So that means the government have to provide more land.
They are doing
there
it.
Are more people
It can't be, land is a fixed
agriculture.
asset. You can't get that in Abeokuta. But you can go to Imeko.
Go out of
Government have
Abeokuta.
land in Imeko. They have land in Ibiade. They have land in Ijebu. They have in Agowe. Are you getting what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
So you can move there. That's what I'm saying. You cannot be looking for land and be static that I want it in Abeokuta. No. You have to go to where those
Okay, can you
lands are
say that
available.
all the stakeholders in Ogun State, I mean the farmers in Ogun State are together and are willing to also lift the agriculture to an enviable height?
I tell you, we are 100% together.
But you said that some youths, the starters, need to form a kind of cluster and come to somebody like you. Where I'm going is that I believe there should be a program for the starters, without you or with or without you, that they should be able to approach the government.
Oh, they don't need me.
Whatever they want.
They don't need me.
Okay. But
I only said if they needed advice.
Okay.
Use it to guide them. They don't need me. I'm not the commissioner. I'm not the PS.
So they can easily go to the...
Oh, yes. They have free access.
I think that's what Moses wanted to establish the other time.
Yeah.
And
you have
they can
free
easily go
access.
to the
You have free
ministry
access. You can go to Department of Agri Services and Food Security at Ashero.
Okay.
That's the headquarter. That's the department that is responsible for the management of the clusters and the farm settlements. So if you go there, you apply. They will tell you where the land is available. For example, we have land in Ilewo that is currently being encroached because people are not working there. So Ilewo is still very close. So if youth comes together and they apply and they tell them land is available in Ilewo, they are good to go.
But how can we even woo youths? How can we woo them into farming? Because, like you said, everybody wants to live in an urban center. Nobody wants to go to a rural area to go and start farming. And you just said now that some farmers are counting their losses because the government, has opened the borders. So how can we woo youth into farming?
Now, you see, information is key. Education is key. Now, I tell people, when you want to go into business, you have to study it very well. You have to know where the profit, where the money is. You have to identify where the money is. Everybody is talking farming, and you want to go and plant maize. You want to plant yam. You want to plant cassava. You can't make money as a youth. You can't make that money because when you plant yam, you wait 1 year. You plant maize, you wait 6 months.
Yeah.
You plant cassava, you wait 1 year. But as youth, you have your system. Can you develop a drone for irrigation? Can you look at that area? Can you look for agricultural radio information? Can you look at how you use technology to add value and market that? Can you look into agricultural marketing? Are you getting me? So when youth says they want to, it's all value chain of agriculture. So youth should use their education. They use their exposure to make enough money in agriculture. Those are the areas I advise youths. But those that are passionate, that they, okay, you see, let me give you a very common example. People want to, they have made up their mind what they are going to sell, and they are looking for shop all over. Where is getting the shop? People, like 4 or 5 people, are selling the same thing. You won't look at that, you go and get the shop. So you have to be strategic. You have to think. You have to seek consultation. For youth, it's very easy. They have the technology. Everything in this phone. I doubt if any adult is using 10%. But the youth, they use more than that. So they should look into marketing of agricultural inputs, agricultural produce. They should look into that area. They make more money.
Okay, you mentioned education as part of what agriculture entails. I believe that if you gather these youths and educate them, like how often do you organize a workshop that youth will attend and you educate them, you tell them what to do and how to go about it? Because I still know some youths that really wants to go into food production, not the way you want them to go. they have what they want in mind and they want to do it.
Now, don't forget, government is doing a lot in that aspect.
Okay.
Government does a lot of training every day, and most times they invite us. As I'm seated there, all the cluster heads, all the farm settlers heads, including youth and women representatives,
Okay.
are undergoing training at Metro's residency,
Good.
basically on how to manage all those and sustain those facilities.
Good.
You understand? So government does that regularly. But what I've said is, let the youth themselves make enough research. Because you want to go to agree, what is he thinking? I want to plant plantain. I want to plant cucumber. You see, that's the error.
But plantain is okay too.
I'm not saying it's not okay. You does not have that patience
You have to wait.
to wait for the returns.
Well, interestingly, there's a Federal University of Agriculture.
That fantastic.
FUNAB.
Yeah.
So is there an effective collaboration between farmers and the institute?
institution.
So are the town and the gown intersecting?
Oh, sure. Within my farm settlement, I have a prof that farms there. Aside from that, most of the master degree, PhD researchers, they come to us, to our farm, and do a lot of research. So, and most times they have training, they invite us. One, Professor Sonny just sent one to our platform. So there is a lot of collaboration. And I want to tell you that FUNAB with us is a lot of advantage, because you have so many graduates from FUNAB that are on our farm. You have many of them. But the issue is that a farmer must have enduring spirit. Today you are down, tomorrow you are up. But you mustn't put your egg in one basket. You must diversify. That is the beauty of agriculture, of farming.
And so, so in recent time, what have been the results of this research? What has that produced?
I think part of it is what is going on in the farm settlements and clusters all over. Post-production management, harvest management. Those are part of the research, because when government realizes that farmers are losing money due to post-harvest losses, then they research into it and found out that if they produce these facilities, they will mitigate that. And every of those 22 facilities being provided along within the state is purely to prevent post-harvest losses.
So is this also addressing post-harvest losses in tomato? Because I know there's a tomato preservation has been
That's what I've told you.
Age-long problem.
That's what I've told you. Now, within my farm settlement, this farm settlement is not the major benefactor of the facility. The facility serves everybody within this, every Nigerian. It's just that because we have organized system, that is why it is located within our place. So it is the information. It is people knowing that if I have 200 bags of tomato that is available for storage, bring it to Ajegule.
And it to be preserved.
In the next, I'm sure in the next 2 months, our Sheila is on.
Just tomato.
Every agricultural produce.
Okay.
And I've
So
said,
it works for every agricultural
oh
produce.
yes, the Sheila works for all agricultural produce. I tell you one. Now, if you get to Shamojo or Agowe, they are giving them solar dryer. So, if you have maize, you harvest your maize, and you have surplus. What do? Take it to the dryer.
So, but at what cost? Is it free?
No, it can't be free.
Okay, so at what
It can't be free. That is what we are working on now.
Okay.
We are with every stakeholder trying to say, okay, this is how much, farmer, how much are you doing it outside? The government side say, okay, this is how much we are doing it. We have a balance.
It will be lesser.
It's going to be. Because even with the tractors,
But don't you think it's supposed to even be free?
it can be.
Why?
Because I tell you, everything that is free is useless.
Okay.
It can be. We are not asking
that's
for it
true.
free.
But is it large enough? Because by the time it's subsidized, you know, many farmers will definitely want to.
I bet you
So is
it's
it
big
large?
enough. The one at Tawowo, the one at Tawowo will do 10 tons a day.
Wow.
10 tons,
10
you know
tons a
what
day.
a 10-ton tipper is? And we are talking volume. 10 metric ton, cubic ton. We are talking volume. If we put sand in 6-tire tipper, that's the weight. So look at, you know, those vehicles coming from Erua with cassava.
Okay.
With the weight of cassava, that's just 3 tons.
But what about the maintenance of these
Those
facilities?
things. Yes, those are
The
the
maintenance in your hands as farmers?
No,
or
those are what we are working.
maintenance?
Those are what government and ourselves are working on.
So is
the
there an assurance
manual-
that this will be well maintained?
Oh,
The first
sure.
20, 30
I bet you, look, this is the best OG provision. As in the best I've ever witnessed in agricultural
Well, you know, you mentioned
sustainability in the
some
state.
eras, in the era of some governments, and
Now,
they provided some.
no, wait, let me
and
tell
not
you, let me
maintained.
tell you. Those ones were provided without our input.
Oh, without the farmers in.
Without our input, there is no way you want me to buy tractor, and I will tell you not to go for Ferguson or John Deere. When government wanted to buy the tractors, they asked us. When they wanted to provide these amenities, they asked us. Are you getting me? What are your needs? What are your number 1 needs? What are your number 2 needs? So they put it on scale of preference, and that
So the
was what
maintenance
determines.
The maintenance
What?
should be handed over to you then.
No, see, we must tell ourselves the truth. We are the primary beneficiary.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
That is what is more important. We are the primary beneficiary. If government sees that this thing requires an expertise to manage it, we are not saying no. But what is important is the person or the organization must be an expert, known and tested. The person must have the wherewithal. And the beautiful thing is, they have even put a sustainability model. If the place generates 100 naira, there is an amount that must go to that purse.
Okay.
There is an amount allowed for profit, and there is an amount government will take immediately. So that's why I tell you this model is the best ever. I want to give you one secret. Now, the processing equipment, you know, agricultural equipment normally must have, they are free for clearance.
Okay.
And when the contractor went to Abuja for custom clearance, the minister sent somebody to Ajegunle to come and clarify. When the person got here, I said, he's going to copy this, or he's taking this one to Federal Ministry of Agri. He's taking this one to Federal Ministry of Agri. That all his survey, he has not seen the provision of a standard facility like this. I bet you, I want to tell you also, the solar electricity provided for this thing is 1 megawatt. 1 megawatt is 1 million watts. 1 million watts, you buy, it's just 6 watts, 10 watts. So how many of those 10 you get a million? The electricity will power minimum of 700 houses that is in Ikoyi.
Okay, so do you have strategies in place to maintain all these things if government should just call you today and ask you
That's
what should be done?
what I've told you. We have done, since the beginning 3 years now, we have undergone series of trainings.
Okay.
Are you getting me? We have developed, the consultants has developed the manual, occupational safety management manual, operational management manual. They've developed all those things. And at that point, they are now calling farmers, come and make your input. Because as the end user, they want to make sure what their decisions are right. So that they just decide and push it on us, and we begin to complain. So I bet you, if they give to us, we have a farm settlers council that comprises of everybody. We are going to give government the best result. We are learned, and my farm settlement, I told you, we have professors, we have retired directors, we have retired PS. So what managerial skill, what experience are you looking for that we not get?
Okay, in terms of frequent monitoring and evaluation, who does that?
Oh, that should rest solely with the department. You see, in every cluster, in every farm settlement, in every agricultural location, government have their offices. They have their officers. They do their reports every time. So the monitoring and evaluation is always with their department.
But within the stakeholders, what do you do to make sure that every of farmers are up to the task? Like you mentioned that if you notice that a farmer is out, another person can come in. But we need everyone, even the old takers and the new ones. We want people to be at least in this industry so that food won't be our problem. That's what we're talking about here.
Now, in every system there are regulations. You want to come in to any farm settlement, you do your application. You do it to government office. When you do it to government office, if you are lucky and there is availability, they give you the land. When you come, by our law, government on its own, the settlement officer will bring the person to our meeting for official introduction and registration as a farmer. And we take him up from there. We give them our training, our do's and don'ts, and how we should operate. And that is how we know active ones.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the genetically modified crops. We are in the era already.
Yeah.
And the debate is on. Is it healthy? Is it not healthy? What's the situation with the GMO crops?
You see, I said, Now, the truth is this. The truth is this. There is nothing you are eating today that has not been modified. Whether it is tomato, whether it's banana, whether it's plantain, they are all been modified. They have all been modified, and we keep modifying the researchers, because the essence of education and essence of research is to make improvement, make it better than it is. But the current one that is creating issues, I invested my cluster, yes, my farm settlement. We invested 1 million in buying maize. We planted it, and I want to tell you the truth, it performed well. Because last year, the rain stopped earlier, and the maize was able to withstand the weather. Rather than colossal loss, rather than total loss, we made the highest return in maize off-season last year. But my fear, I must tell you, and I've spoken with the proponent in Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Mrs. Gidado. The maize has refused to spoil. I still have it. I still have more than 40 or 50 kilo. The ones we bought, this farm settlement, we bought early this year, February. The one we bought this year, February, got spoiled before May. That is the regular ones that we are used to. But this one I bought 2 years ago has refused to spoil.
Okay, well, I would have wanted to ask what's the health impact of that, but maybe it's not for you to say. You are just a farmer.
No. What I do is that when the ones we got, I use them to feed our animals. You understand?
Okay, well, we must thank you especially Mr. Johnson Shogunle, Chairman at Digule Farm Settlement at Abeokuta. And we're talking about Ogun State food security template, and he has assured us that the Ogun State government is doing a lot, and there won't be any scarcity. And yes, the prices are already dropping. So thank you so much once again. Well, we're allowing go now, but we are not done yet. We still have another 30 minutes to spend. Another issue, far away from agriculture this time around. So stay with us. We'll be right back.